Going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we're going to talk about the top things to do in Arizona. And this isn't even going to be all of them, but this is going to be some of them. I made another video previously called Explore Arizona Weekend Getaways. I'll put a card right here. You can click on that and watch that video there. Now, if you're going to watch this video, I'm going to recommend that you get out a pen and paper, some of you, and jot down some of these. Save this video if you need to reference for a later time. But the main point of this video is to show you that when you're moving to Arizona, you're going to get a lot of things to do on the weekends, and there's not going to be a shortage of activities or fun things to do all the way across the board. So let's go ahead and dive in here and talk about some of the things to do in Arizona. So because it's spring, in the spirit of spring, we're going to talk about baseball because the Cactus League is coming. This is where these teams right here, the Angels, the Athletics, Brewers, Cubs, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Giants, Indians, Mariners, Padres, Rangers, Reds, Rockies, Royals, White Sox, all come to play in Phoenix, Arizona metro area for about a month. So you can go see any of these teams. Depending on where you're from, you can see your favorite team in the Exhibition League, Cactus League. This is in spring. It's called spring training. The other league is in Florida. Moving right along here. So we're going to try and move fast. Next thing you're going to be able to do if you're staying in Phoenix, so this can apply to Phoenix or across the state, depending on if you're in Tucson or Flagstaff, Prescott, Phoenix, it doesn't matter. But this is if you're in the Phoenix metro area, people like to go to this Papago Park. Papago Park's got a zoo there. It's got a botanical garden. It's got a golf course. You can see if you just zoom in on the map. It's a really nice place. People like to hike around. It's a good place to go to spend a day, a Saturday or a Sunday with the family just going around Papago Park. You can go there in the winter. They got lights, Christmas activities, and then you go there in the summer and you get a whole nother experience. So add Papago Park to your list of things that you're going to want to do, right? And then so if you are heading up to northern Arizona, there's a lot of things to see up in northern Arizona, not just the Grand Canyon, although we're going to talk about the Grand Canyon on this list because we are the Grand Canyon state. Can't make a list of things to do in Arizona without the Grand Canyon, right? So this is the Wave Rock. A lot of people like to go to this Wave Rock and take pictures for Instagram and whatnot. It's actually a pretty cool place. So this is up in northern Arizona. You can hit this up in an exploration of northern Arizona or even up to Utah. Usually this is something you would do on like a spring break or something you would do on a Christmas vacation, time off when the kids are off from school. You're going to need about a week to explore all of northern Arizona, and you're still going to be missing out on some things. But so you've got the waves. This is at Marble Canyon in Arizona. You can also do Bryce Canyon and Zion National Park. You probably need 2 weeks really to do a trip up there, but yeah, so I just mentioned Grand Canyon, right? So you've got Grand Canyon right here, really popular place. You've got the South Rim and the North Rim, two totally different experiences. South Rim has the bridge that you walk out over, the glass bridge, right? And then they've got many different things. They've got forest up there, park and ride. You can hike down to the bottom of the trail, go to Havasupai Falls. It does take about 1 to 2 days to do that. Maybe 3 days really to hike down there. It's quite the trek to go to the bottom to the Colorado River. People also like to do Colorado River rafting and whatnot, so I figured I'd put that on the list. While you're up there in that area, in between the Wave, Marble Canyon, and Grand Canyon, you also have a place called Glen Canyon, which is near Lake Powell, right? But this is Glen Canyon. People go through there on these steamboats, and they just explore what's up in these canyons right here. You can see it's got seasonal hours, beautiful starry nights. You're under the stars out there because it's low light pollution. But you also have smooth water rafting. You can check out some webcams on the Glen Canyon website if you want to see what's going on there. It is a dam, so it is a man-made reservoir. But this is where Phoenix and Vegas and Los Angeles get some of its water from, that reservoir. But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful place, and it's been turned into like a canyons land, and you can explore these canyons on a ferry. Yet again, you're going to spend 1 to 2 days exploring Glen Canyon, and it's cool. While you're also up there, you can check out the infamous Monument Valley. It's a really popular place to go. Monument Valley, you guys have heard of that. It's just it's a crazy place to drive. I don't know if you really want to get out and walk around too much in Monument Valley, but you take the Route 66 and just go through it. So again, this is something you would do when you're in northern Arizona. Okay, So, changing gears a little bit, going towards the south, we're going to Arizona or Phoenix's beach. This right here is called Rocky Point, also known as Puerto Penasco, but Puerto Penasco translates in English to Rocky Point. So whenever you hear someone saying Rocky Point or Puerto Penasco, they're not two different places. They are the same place. It's down here on the Baja, Mexico, right? So you can see there's Phoenix and there's Tucson. It takes about 3 hours to get to the Arizona beach, right? You could go to San Diego, but you can see that Baja, Mexico is a lot closer. You go right through here, you go through Sonoita. That's where you cross the border at. While you're on the way down there, you could stop and check out Organ Pipe National Park. That was a place that I had mentioned. But then you just drive the 8 down here and you're right there. You've got Las Conchas, Playa Encanto, Choya Bay, Bahia La Choya, which is Choya Bay. And you've got a lot of areas down there. And they've just now started to run cruises out of there. So this place is up and coming. But Rocky Point right here, a little bit more of a look at it. You can see the type of resorts. It's turning into a little bit of a Cancun style resort. It hasn't developed as fast as Cancun, but this is where people in Arizona go to spend their spring break, and they go there to spend any type of situation. I like going down there for spring break. It is a cool place. Good weather during that time. Not too hot, not too cold. One thing I will say about swimming in Rocky Point or Puerto Penasco, it's got some warm water. This is some warm water. It's not cold like the Pacific. You go to San Diego, you try to swim over there, you're like, it's cold. The Gulf of Mexico, or the Golfo de California, as they call it, the Baja, is warm water, especially up here. Now, with that, you're going to have, they do say there is some sharks in the water out there. I mean, you've seen some videos, but basically this comes from the tributary of the Colorado, which carved that out over time. The same kind of carving that took place in the Grand Canyon from the power of the Colorado is what really created this, because the Colorado River, before they put all the dams in place, used to pour right there into the Gulf of California. You can check the map on that. Check the facts if you wanted. So let's keep this going. Back towards Phoenix. Write this one down. Camelback Mountain. It's a place to hike. Okay, people like to go to Camelback Mountain and hike around here. It's even become so amazing that people do it more and more, and they've kind of commercialized it a little bit, but you don't have to pay much. I think you just have to pay for parking, if anything. But if you live in Phoenix, this is that beautiful mountain right there in the heart of it all, called Camelback Mountain. They've got other mountains around there. You don't just have to hike this one, but you can see on their website, climbcamelback.com. We've got that. Another popular thing that people like to do, obviously, is golf. Arizona, Phoenix in particular, Tucson in particular, has a lot of golf courses. We're talking, you can go on golfarizona.com and see just how many golf courses there are. That's one thing that Arizona really became known for, was golf. So if you like to golf, check it out. Arizona's got a lot of golf courses, beautiful ones. They've got public, private, not so private, just different resort style. You're really going to be impressed. Even northern Arizona has some, so that's pretty cool. Another thing to do out here is go to the lakes. We have many lakes because we have these reservoirs, these man-made reservoirs, depending on if you're up in northern Arizona or central Arizona, or in this case, central Arizona, Saguaro Lake Marina. So they have a marina over there. People like to, if you have a boat, you take your boat out there to Saguaro Lake. That's just one of many in that same area. You've got Saguaro Lake, Canyon Lake, you got Roosevelt Lake up there a little bit, and there's many of them, really. On the other side, you have Lake Pleasant, which is not off the Colorado, or not off the Salt River. This one's going to be up there north of Peoria. This is Lake Pleasant. It's another beautiful lake. I've swam across Lake Pleasant, actually, like from one side to the other, shore to shore. I don't know if that's impressive, but I did do that. Looking back on it, I was like, wow, that was kind of funny. But you can see right here on MaricopaCountyParks.net, they've got several parks that you can check out. And they've got the ideas of places you can go. This is a great place to go. MaricopaCountyParks.net. It'll give you a whole list of different parks to go around. I like the Cave Creek Regional Park up there. That's pretty nice. Adobe Dam. I don't know if that one's that great. Spur Cross is definitely a place to check out. Let's see if we can get Spur Cross pulled up. This one's a little bit of a hidden gem, but it's a wildlife refuge up in North Cave Creek. Look at that. You've got petroglyphs. You can see it gets a lush high desert environment. So it's a beautiful high desert environment, which is pretty cool. Look at all the saguaros. They grow like flowers out there, don't they? And yeah, that's Spur Cross. Look at that. I think that's a good image. You can see the Cave Creek. That's the creek. All those trees, all the abundance of wildlife. Keeping this thing moving right along here, trying to move fast. Another thing that is really popular out here is these off-road vehicles. You could take these down to Rocky Point. People will pack these into Rocky Point, go up and down the dunes. They go to Yuma for the dunes. Some go to California, Glamis, whatnot. But these off-road vehicles are really popular. They'll cost you around about $15,000 to $20,000. I've thought about getting one. You're going to need a 4x4 if you're going to tow them around, though, because how are you going to get this thing to the location that you're trying to go? But you can see here on RideNowTucsonEast.com, they've got a lot of different alternatives for you. You've got Apache Trail, the Rolls, that's up here, Fort Peak, that's Northeast Phoenix, Apache Junction. Lots of places to go, and you don't even need to go onto this list to go onto one of these places. There's many places you'll be going all over the desert where you can just take one of these off-roading, you know, you wear your helmets and this and that, get your roll cage, and you just go jam out. I mean, look at all these places. Lots of places to go. This is a hobby that you'll never get bored with because you can explore so much around Arizona, northern Arizona, central Arizona, southern Arizona with one of these things. So usually a family will get like 2 or 3 of them. You know, the brother and the cousins will go out, you know, so you got a crew of 15 to 20 people, and then they've got about 4 or 5 of these off-road vehicles that everyone's cruising around. You get a 2-seater or a 4-seater. So yeah, check these out, man. This is just really popular. All-terrain vehicles, ATVs, motorbikes. People like to do this thing. They get their Winnebagos. It's a huge culture of people out here that do this off-roading stuff. What would be a list without mentioning downtown Tempe, Mill Avenue? You've got all sorts of different activities to do down there. They got the art scene, the music scene. They've got the yoga scene. All this different stuff you can catch up with at downtown Tempe. So that's different than downtown Phoenix. That's on Tempe Town Lake, right? So you got Mill Avenue. That's definitely a place to explore. You've got Old Town Scottsdale, another one of those types of places like downtown Tempe. This is a higher scale downtown Tempe, going up and down Scottsdale Road. You've got beautiful Scottsdale waterfront, you know, when they grow the flowers, and high rent district down there. But you can go out partying, having fun, daytime, nighttime, doesn't matter. Activities for everyone, bars, plenty of bars down there. Galleries, they've got the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall. So great steakhouses, check it out. Another thing that wouldn't be a list without mentioning the Arizona Cardinals, who have really come into the zone of attracting and building a large fan base here in Phoenix and across Arizona. Not so much outside of the state, but you could see Arizona Cardinals are still very much a part of the culture and the things to do, especially during football season, which goes from about September until January, depending on if the Cardinals are in the Super Bowl. Then it would be February, right? And obviously, you've got to mention Salt River Tubing. Check this out. This is something that you do maybe once or twice a summer. You go out there, Salt River Tubing. You're going to need a DD for this because a lot of people like to take their ice chest, put some beer in there, and then they drink some beer while they're going down there and tubing. This is going to be out there by Saguaro Lake, so check it out. So, Salt River Tubing. I mentioned this in a couple videos, but you can come on to this website, saltrivertubing.com, and see what they have to offer. And as I talked about the off-roading trails, you don't just have to ride it on your all-terrain vehicle, although that's the ideal way to go about it, but you've got so many different things to see and do out there. Four Peaks is out here on this side of the road, Schnebly Hill, Montana Mountain, lots of stuff. If you're into museums and art and, museums basically, right? One of the famous ones we have out here is Heard Museum, Advancing American Indian Art. So Native American art at the Heard Museum. You've got the Museum of Natural Science. You've got the Science Museum for the kids. You've got plenty of museums. Art is big scene out here. I mean, we could go into this all day long. And while we're on the scene of art, what would a list be without mentioning Taliesin West, Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the more popular architects of Southwestern style design with rocks and concrete mixed in there, created this style. It's called Taliesin West, but Frank Lloyd Wright has left his fingerprint across the valley with his designs, and it really is amazing to see what he has done. Another one of these cool places that's not designed by Frank Lloyd Wright would be this Mystery Castle. You can explore this. It's really a rock fortress, right? People like this because, look at that. And it was built on a hill, and you could see it, go up to it. Look at all that rock, how he did it. Kind of like Native American style meets European guy, and they come together and create this Mystery Castle. You can see downtown Phoenix in the background, so it is right there in the heart of Phoenix. That is called the Mystery Castle. Explore that. And if you like to go just exploring creeks and water and waterfalls and whatnot, they're all across the valley and even central and northern Arizona. You have Oak Creek Canyon, Fossil Creek, which is really, I mean, it's sad to see what's happened to Fossil Creek because it is a natural gem. So many people have started to go there, but now people know about it. It's even got a recreation.gov website, so it's no longer the hidden secret that it used to be. But hey, it is worth it. If you go there, clean up after yourself. Try to leave the place better than you discovered it, right? So that's the mantra is never go to a place and leave it worse than the way it was before you went there, and that helps preserve things. If everyone adopts that mentality, it's not about being a new ager, it's about being clean and hygienic and taking care of the land and the place around you. It's not being a slob is what I'm saying. Some people go there, they'll drink beer and they'll leave their cans in the trash and they don't clean up after themselves, and that means someone else will have to clean up after them, and who likes that person? Don't be that person that people have to clean up after. So anyways, guys, I wanted to go in this. Like I said, I mean, this list could go on and on and on, but this at least gets you started with things to do when you're moving to Arizona so you're not bored, right? Because that can be something that people think about. Where am I going to get my pine country? You can get all of that up in Flagstaff. You can go skiing at Snowbowl. So there's plenty of places to ski around Arizona. Sunrise, I made a whole video on that. Just type in skiing in Arizona on this channel and you'll see it. And we'll see you guys next time.